We would like to thank everybody here tonight, especially the people who invited us to participate in the cultural activities that have been going on these past few days with the different native tribes participating. We are the Geisán Tlingit dancers from Juneau, but originated in Haines, Alaska. Geisán is the name of a mountain. There used to be a Tlingit village located near the base of this mountain. At one time this was a large, thriving village, but due to some illnesses and deaths that occurred, many of the people moved out and the village is gone now. So our ancestors asked us, our grandparents and uncles and aunts asked us to use the name so we would always remember it. So this is why we have the name Geisán Dancers. The first song we'd like to do for you we learned from the Tsimshians. They're the ones who started using the what is now known as the Chilkat robe. They were the first ones to weave it, and the Tlingits picked up this art and refined it, which is why it is known as the Chilkat blanket now. But we learned some of the Tsimshian songs from them as we traded with them and learned some of their artwork. We'd like to do one of the songs for you now. Many people know romance and special feelings for another person. So do the Tlingits. We have some of our songs that we classify as love songs. We're a little different in that we don't come out directly and say, I love you, Jim, or I love you, Flora. There's a Tlingit law that the two tribes, Eagle and Raven, each must marry the opposite tribe, because at one time they believed all the eagles were one big family and all the ravens were one family. So when they sang love songs, if an eagle composed the song, they would sing it to the raven side. So we'd like to do some of our love songs for you now. The first one was composed about a Tlingit legendary hero who had gone hunting with some of his men. They had been blown off course and drifted for many days and finally landed at this island. They were never sure where they landed, but they said that the water they were able to get was, they got it from bamboo. So they may have drifted quite a ways. But they thought of their families and their children and thought, we can't live our lives here by ourselves. At all costs, we must try to make it home. And they did eventually make it home, and they talked about this island, and another crew went out looking for this island. But they never found it, so they said it probably sank. So man composed this song, "What's to become of us? Over here the land is sinking." One type of love song we have is the deep feelings between a father and son. This particular song was composed on New Year's Day. The father was watching TV, and the series Combat was on, and he thought it made him think of his son who was overseas in the army. And he started thinking about him, and he composed this song. On this New Year's Day, I'm thinking about you. It makes me feel good when I hear from you. Then I know you're safe. Chukanedi Yatki. And that was his son's, Yatki means children of the father. Usually among the Tlingits, the children follow the mother's line. If she's Eagle, all the children are Eagle. And they belong to the same clan she does. But in singing these Tlingit songs, we sing to the Yatki, which means children of the father. So they go by the father's clan. So we'd like to sing this one for you now. And this particular song was composed for John Marks, who is a member of our dance group. He was unable to make it here this evening, but his brother, Jim Marks, will do the dance since he is Chukanedi Yatki.
Thank you.
I believe our Tlingit tradition is still with us. Many people believe our native people are getting so modern, going to schools and forgetting our culture, but we still pass it on to our younger people. Gives me great pride that my little girl was able to come on this trip. Once in a while she gets in the mood and she forgets about the crowd and really goes to it. I'd like to introduce my little girl, Kingoat. I'd like to introduce our dancers at this time, if they would turn around. Some of the people joined us up here. They're living in Fairbanks or going to school here, living in the area or working. They are true blue Tlingits. Anytime a dance group comes around or there's a gathering of Tlingits, they all come in. We have Ralph Houston from Huna, who's working here, who joined us today. The next dancer, I'm not very well acquainted with him. I believe his last name is Jones. We have Flora Beerley, who is with our dance group from Juneau. Rick Beasley, who is being taught the traditional way of Tlingit carving. This is his first attempt at dancing. We told him he had to dance with us if he came up to Fairbanks, so he's out here. As I told you, our Geisán dancers, Tlingit dancers, originated in Haines. We have a lady here who lives in Haines but has been faithful to our group, has traveled to Juneau just to dance with us at times. We have Daisy Phillips from Haines. I was going to say we have another Tlingit, but I have to watch it. She's a Dekina, I believe. That's Haida. We have Mrs. Genevieve Sobola. We have another high school student who's been dancing with us this year and has been doing an excellent job, Austin Brown Jr. And of course our drummer is one of our carvers from Southeast Alaska, and also my husband, Jim Marks. I believe we have one more dancer out, but he will be coming back on stage in a minute. That's our raven. They're always eager to steal the show. There are many stories and legends in of our Tlingit culture about the raven. He was the one that was able to trick a chief out of the sun, moon, and stars, who kept it in boxes and never took it out. So at one time the Tlingits lived in darkness. But because he was known as a trickster, conniver, was able to get things away from people without them realizing it till the last minute, we have the sun, moon, and stars today. So we have many songs about our raven. This one describes how he walks around and how he eyes the opposite clan, which is the wolf or the eagle. He's attracted because naturally there's that old Tlingit law that the raven must marry on the eagle side. So we'd like to do a couple raven songs for you now. We have one particular song that we call our clan song. This was usually sung at a potlatch or a gathering of the Tlinkits. They would sing to the guests, such as you people who are sitting out here. This would give them a time to get up and take the kinks out of their knees and arms. They would call out the various clans among the Tlinkits, such as Chukanadi Yadi, Tlukach Adi Yadi, Dakdain Tan Yatki, Te Kwedi Yatki. There are many clans, and we call them out, and this gives them a chance to come out and do some of their fancy steps or show off a little, and because they don't want any other clan to show them up. So we would like to do this clan song for you now, and then after we get through singing or calling out our various clans, we're going to call some of you who are sitting in the crowd. And we always tell the younger people who are learning, never to be bashful, that you're always proud of who you are, even though you may not be Eskimo, Tlingit, or Athabaskan, or Haida, or Tsimshian. We are all proud of who we are and where we came from. So we hope to have 100% participation out in the crowd.
Hey! Wasn't he fantastic? He was fantastic, wasn't he?
We would like to thank everybody who joined us. Our last number we have much pride in. Again, it was at a time when our people were healthy and thriving. Our children were being born and growing up into adults. But then there came a time when the tribal houses were not completed. Somebody had died in the family. They would pack up and leave the village and go live with other relatives. So this man looked around and he composed this song that our grandfather's voice will be heard on this land because it will be passed down through the generations by oral tradition. Pray for your raven that we may all survive and keep our culture going. We'd like to sing this song for you. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey,
He's not done with the number yet. He's making a change of costumes, then we'll pick it up again. We have only a few more moments together this evening.